So I went and bought a box of Kent Fasteel Plus, and I'm gonna test it through 10 choke tubes to see what happens. Carlson's and Muller gave me the choke tubes used in this video, and Mossberg gave me the shotgun. Hey, George here with the New Hunter's Guide YouTube channel and podcast. I'm a regular hunter who just so happens to have a PhD and a low tolerance for marketing hype, trying to help people figure out what really works. And today we've got a long requested video. We're gonna test Kent's brand new Fasteel Plus. Wanted to do this a while ago, but wasn't able to get the shells until now. This is not a sponsored video. I bought these with my own money to do this test. Now, what makes it Plus? Well, Kent is combining their Fasteel 2.0 zinc-plated steel shot, number 2s and number 4s in this particular shell, in order to give you some of the benefits of both sizes. So you have the increased ballistics energy and penetration of the 2s, and then you have the increased pattern density of the 4s. And somehow that's better than using number 3s. Now, they are claiming that the pellets will stratify in the air, allowing the smaller pellets to ride behind the larger pellets and essentially draft behind them, enabling them to retain more energy and better pattern performance. While they were saying that, my marketing hype alert just started blinking in the background. But I was like, all right, we'll put this to the test and figure out how this thing really patterns. Now, this is a 1 1/4 ounce payload in a 3-inch shell traveling at 1,500 feet per second. So you might be asking how many pellets are in these shells, because I did. And so I looked on Kent's website, they said 198. I cut one open just to be sure and counted 183. That sounded a little light, so I went ahead and found a scale, measured it, came up with these results right here. And as you can see, we had just over 1 1/4 ounces of shot. So they're not shorting you, but there are a few more number 2s than number 4s, which lower your overall pellet count. Is that a good or a bad thing? Depends on what you're hunting. Seems fine to me. Now, we're gonna test these today through my Mossberg 940 with its 28-inch barrel, topped with 10 different choke tubes. I was only gonna use 7, but I had 10 with me, so I thought, well, let's use them all. Let's meet those chokes right now. We've got right here your Carlson Sporting Clays, improved modified, full, and extra full. And yes, extra full. I found that to pattern very well with steel shot of different sizes in the past. Then we've got our Carlson's Cremator choke tubes, close range, mid-range, and long range. These chokes are designed specifically for steel shot. Then we've got our Muller choke tubes, decoy, passing, and UFO. These are designed to be used with any metal, any size shot, any velocity, anywhere. So let's head down to the range and see what we can learn. I have made it down to the range. We've got the Carlson's improved cylinder choke tube and our Fasteel Plus at 40 yards. Failure to eject on the first shot. That's not a good sign. Now we have our modified choke tube on there, and we'll see how this one goes. That one did eject. And now we've got the Sporting Clays full choke tube. If you guys are wondering why I make such a point to show you guys the choke tubes, it's not because I think you don't trust me, it's because I'm trying to keep myself straight and double check that I've got the right choke tube on before every shot. Let's go ahead. In case you're wondering, that's not a malfunction on the loading. If I throw the shell down too far and it's out of position, it gets jammed trying to load. So it's just a function of the angle I have to hold the gun so that you guys can see it on camera. And now we have the extra full choke tube. Look out! I know, dangerous, living on the edge. Extra full steel. All right, on to the next one. Next up, we've got the Cremator close range. And now we'll cremate them at medium range. Couple more. Next up, we've got the Cremator long range. Cremate them as far as you can. All right, and on to the Muller chokes. Here we have the Muller decoy. 2 more. And next up, we have the Muller passing choke. Let's go ahead and take this shot. Only 1 to go. I'll tell you what, I'm definitely getting my steps in. Is this process too tedious for you guys? Let me know in the comments down below if you have any suggestions on how to speed this up. Now we've got the Muller UFO choke, which is marketed as a turkey choke, doubles as a turkey choke, and I have used it for turkey hunting. And should we be firing steel through a turkey choke? Absolutely. It's rated for anything. All right, let's go and see how we did. All right, I got all these targets laid out here. I'm gonna breeze through these pretty quickly. You guys, of course, can pause, rewind, watch this segment a dozen times if you want to. I would encourage you to note the pattern distributions for the chokes that had more even distributions, and not just more pellets, because more is not better in every scenario. At close range, you don't wanna have the long range pellet counts right, but you want good distribution. All right, let's take a look. First, we have improved cylinder. Very open pattern. Ooh, not great. Modified. Very nice pattern. Very even. Full. Also very even pattern. Pretty good. Extra full. Not bad. Decent pattern. Now we got our Cremator close range. So even pattern, but not a lot of pellets. Cremator medium range. This one's got really nice pattern distribution. Cremator long range. Interesting, looks like it's not as good as the medium range. The decoy choke tube. Good even pattern, good pellet count. The passing choke. Very nice pattern, very good pellet count. The UFO choke, very tight, extremely tight pattern there. All right, now I'm gonna count every single one of these pellets, chart this data, get it to you guys momentarily. I might be here for an hour doing this, but the time should pass for you guys like that. When I figured 10 targets, I didn't realize I was still gonna be counting like 1,200 pellets, and still you guys have not subscribed or hit the like button. Now guys, when we look at the data here, all right, keep in mind, what are we looking for? When I'm patterning, I wanna see 100 pellets in a 30-inch circle at whatever range I'm hunting. So this test is done at 40 yards. So if you're hunting at 40 yards, you can apply that rule. If you're hunting closer, keep in mind you're gonna get more pellets in your circle with all of these choke tubes. So you need to apply that logic to help pick what choke tube you're gonna use at what range. Let's look at the data here. You can see the improved cylinder, 73 pellets, modified 123, full 144, extra full 130. So interesting, we reach full, we've got our tightest pattern, and then it drops off as we get tighter. So it does worse. Cremator close range, 82, then 127, then 107. So same pattern with the Cremators. Does better to a point, and then as you get tighter, it gets worse. Then we look at the Muller chokes, 94, 140, and 143. Now this one breaks the trend. Muller continues to get tighter, although the passing and the UFO, very similar number of pellets, although the UFO I think looked a little better. So I went ahead and marked these as to what I thought the best looking patterns were in terms of distribution. And the short list was the modified, Cremator mid-range, decoy, and UFO. So what's the best choke tube on this list? Well, if you're gonna be hunting close range, I think the decoy has the better looking pattern and still gives you almost 100 pellets at 40 yards, which enables you to punch out that far. If you're looking at mid-range choke tubes, I think that the Cremator mid-range or the modified had the best looking patterns. And then if you're looking at long-range choke performance, the full did have one more pellet than the UFO, but I think the UFO has the slightly better potential for long range in terms of the look of the pattern, cross-reference with the number of pellets on the page. So what's the final analysis here? Well, none of these pattern densities are particularly impressive. However, for steel shot in general, you're not usually going to be shooting past 40 yards because you have so much loss of energy due to the low density of the shot. So at 40 yards or closer, this shot's going to work just fine. You don't need more pellets in the circle. You don't really even want more pellets in the circle with the tighter chokes. Beyond 40 yards, you probably have a little bit of margin, but not a whole lot. This doesn't pattern quite as well as I thought it would, at least through any of these chokes coming through this gun. Now, how will it perform in terms of ballistics performance? Well, we're going to do some future videos on that and figure out what it'll do against some competitors and maybe compare it against some business loads. But another brand new steel load on the market is the BOSS Steel Reserve, and you can see how that one performs in this video right here. And once I'm able to do some ballistics gel testing with the Fasteel Plus, I'll put that right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Till next time, God bless you, and go get them in the woods.